All right, how about this? We weren't sure if this was going to go down or not, but it looks like it is. Joining us on the hotline, we got a very special guest. You can see him Friday night at the Paramount in Huntington. Dennis Miller's on the morning show with Anthony. Dennis, good morning.
Morning, Anthony. What's shaking?
Little of this, little of that. Thanks for taking time. I know you got the big radio show now, 50,700 something stations you're on. Thanks for fitting us in.
Exactly, 50,700. Thank you for committing it to memory.
I counted each one, actually.
You're that type of host, Anthony. That's why we love you.
They call me Thorough Anthony. That's what they say. Is there ever, because I know these syndication deals can be funny with radio. Are you always surprised? Like, do they tell you where you are, or are you always surprised to get a phone call from some random place?
I think at first, but on April 1st, that'll be my 8th year. And I think after a while, the vagaries of it begin to fall away because, you get a new one, you feel chuffed with yourself. Sorry, I'm married to a British girl, so chuffed. But you lose one and you get your feelings hurt, even if it's way, way out in the middle of nowhere. So you kind of drop off that radar screen after a while.
Sheboygan? We lost Sheboygan? You're kidding me.
Yeah, when you find yourself in that moment, you think, God, I can't microanalyze this like this.
Well, I think here's what's funny about the demand for Dennis Miller. I think you may have set a record for how many shows you've hosted with your name attached to it.
Yeah, I think I've done Saturday Night Live, Monday Night Football, something on, I think it was CNBC. Now I'm on Fox, HBO for 10 seasons. So yeah, I've had a eclectic career. But then again, I'm pretty easy about moving on from shows once they've been shot out from under me. I don't go into funks and that. Show business is a pretty it's a pretty whimsical, lucky sort of endeavor, and I always view it as a lily pond. I'm not looking at the far shore. I'm just looking for the next pad to stay dry.
But and it's funny too because there's it's always changed. Like even the Dennis Miller Live on HBO, which I love that show. It changed from the beginning towards the end, and the radio show is a little different from when you were on HBO, and the CNBC show is a little different. So it keeps you fresh, but it kind of keeps us in the Dennis Miller game, which is kind of cool.
Well, like I said, I don't have any sort of delusions or people make more of show business than it is. I feel like I grew up in Pittsburgh. It feels like a bit of a company job, and I just show up and keep plugging. Now I'm 61. It seems like I get into it around 31, so, or late 20s. So anytime you get 30 years in one endeavor where it's predicated on the public being somewhat interested in you, you've hit the mother lode.
Dennis Miller is with us. He's going to be at the Paramount on Friday, ParamountNY.com. for some more information. I've had a couple of SNL alums on, and Jay Moore said to me something that always stuck with me, and I've asked Rob Schneider and a couple other people since. He said being on SNL is kind of like having a title when you're in politics. Like if you're the president, you're always the president. So if you're on SNL, they always mention you as, Saturday Night Live's own or SNL's, so-and-so. With SNL being on for 40 years and some time between now and when you were on, you still get that? Do you find that to be true, or are you too well known in other endeavors now?
No, I think that is a good moniker to have for the rest of your life, and I'm listen. I'm flattered that anybody remembers that, but I do think if they ever asked you, it's like people enjoyed my HBO show, but they don't want to say, I really loved you on your HBO named show. It's always, hey, you did the news well. You know what I mean? Or I liked you on Weekend Update. That's what you hear the most. And I think I've talked to Norm about that. He gets that too. You're lucky to have that gig, man. That's pretty hallowed ground that Chevy carved out there.
Yeah, especially the Weekend Update spot, not just being a normal cast member.
Well, I viewed it like the BH, man. I tried to get out of sketches because I knew I'd always be the fourth or fifth lead in a sketch. I'd be the bartender, and I'd have to do lighting blocking for like 3 hours to say, you want a gimlet? So whenever anybody wrote me in, I'd go find the writer and go, get me out of this, man. I just want to do update. I want to pick some cool rock and roll music. I want to swing my weighted bat in the dugout till it's time to go up and DH and then go home.
What do you think about the show now, 40 years later?
You know what? I haven't seen the new crew. I like the Killian kid. I think he's funny, and but I don't know much about it now. I think that, and I'm not trying to act cooler than now. There, it's just that I think Saturday Night Live is sort of like I don't know. I feel like it's Peter Pan's Island or something. It's for younger people. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be the guy who graduated and comes back and hangs around a keg trying to get laid by undergrads. Well, evidently, I found your strike zone.
It's a great line. Dennis Miller is with us here on the morning show with Anthony. Friday night, Paramount Theater in Huntington. Where do I go after that? Oh, speaking of a while ago, did you like this? Just dawned on me. I'm watching Kimmel the other day. Tears for Fears were on, right? And they're celebrating their 30th anniversary of whatever. And that was, to me, that song will always be associated with the opening of your HBO show. Tell me about how that got on that. Was that you? Was that your pick, or was that some other way that came?
Oh, I always loved the song, but my wife said you should get that as your theme song. And I said, well, I'll look into it. It costs a lot of money. I think I did 210 episodes. You're probably looking at $3,000 per episode. So it cost me $630 over 10, or $630,000 over 10 years. For a while there, I felt like I was feeding Tears for Fears, but it was a good choice, I think.
You got them to 30 years. Seriously, they should, when they come out with their best of album, they should put your face on the cover of it.
$630K. Yeah, I should be the Stu Sutcliffe in Tears for Fears.
The stand-up show is going to be good. Obviously, you're hilarious. You got me cackling here this morning. And you have a DVD coming out, too. Tell me about the new DVD that you guys have coming out.
Oh, I just shot a special last year, and they put it on... I don't know if DVD, baby. You sound more outmoded than me. It's actually on 8-track. No, I don't know what it's downloadable and all that stuff, and it'll be out on DVD too. But it's just a special I shot last year called America 180 because it seems to me like I feel like we've fallen through the looking glass for God's sakes. So I just did an hour commenting on it.
And you worked with EPIX on it. Those guys are doing a lot of interesting stuff now over there at EPIX.
Yeah, they're nice guys. I mean, they remind me of old HBO. They hire you, and they're discerning. I think I'm not saying in my case, but in general on who they hire. And then I found they were just like HBO, in that they didn't note you to death or give you goofball notions. They just let you go. So they were lovely to work with.
I catch on O'Reilly, I see you in certain places, listen to the show. Obviously, there's a lot of junk going on in America right now, the Ferguson stuff, the immigration stuff, the 24-hour news cycle is always turning around. What do you think is the most important issue for Americans right now at this day?
Well, I would boil it down to this, as I got a rock. I'm 61 years old. I give 52% of my money away now. At least I want them to pave the roads and kill the bad guys. That's what I'd like. You know what I mean? I'm getting sick of figuring out radical Islamic terrorism's backstory. They're bad guys. I'd like them off before they off us. And there, that's what I want for my taxes. I want some nice macadam on my roads. I want them to flatten those guys.
Dennis Miller, a pleasure, man. A thrill for me to chat with you this morning.
Nice to talk to you, Anthony. You're a good kid.